Alrighty, I reckon we are indeed good to go. So, hello, one and all. It has indeed been a very, very, very long time. Hello, Wilds, Dragon, the 4K head, Ryujon. It's a pleasure to see you all. Thank you, one and all, for dropping by. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off the Sunday Open. There's also another one that I want to check out. We're going to have a look at the deck lists. We're going to see if much has changed since last time. See how the meta is shaping up. Maybe how we can look at changing some of the lists moving forward. And then afterwards, we're just going to play some casual Urshipult because that's a fun deck to play. And sometimes it's all about just having fun. Alrighty, so we got here. This is indeed the Sunday Open. So we had an Urshipult win. So not Urshipult, a Urshifu win. I haven't looked at any of these deck lists. I've been very careful, even on Twitter, to not look at the lists, to just zone everything out. So everything I have not checked out. So I've been told there's been some spice in here. By the way, I play hammers in Urshipult and won a tournament with it. Janky, take those hammers out. You're a disappointment to our kind. Please, thank you. Love you all. Hey, Sizard, how's it going? Because hammers work? No. Villain? No. No, not for me anyway. Alright, so let's have a look. Mudkip, having a look here. Everything looks pretty stock standard. The thing that I do like to see now in these Urshifu sort of lists is the fact that they're adding in Tool Scrapper. This is going to be very important for the Mewtwo decks leading forward because I do play the ability blocking Mimikyu. And so what a lot of Pika ROMs and things like that, they've been playing Tool Scrapper. Short of that, just from a quick look, I mean, it's what you would expect from Urshifu. But I mean, hey, it's still a good list. Okay, so this is that Tempo, Zard, anything spicy here. If you haven't played this one before, basically a lot of Persephone players have realized that they're just not enough early tempo. So what they're doing now is they're relying on Reshizard as their open. It's like, hey, this guy is going to be able to do a turn 1 GX potentially for 200 damage, which is a knockout on most things. Throw down a bunch of damage, take knockouts here and there, and go, hey, look, you have to respond. It's a great open for many decks, and we've got the Heat Round GX in there. It is all very nice. It's interesting that they're playing Marnie. The Marnie is the very interesting card here. My thoughts on that are, but hey. I mean, if you're running a Zard, I guess it's not too bad then. Sharded myself, hello, Sizard. I think it's time to educate us. Indeed. By educate, not really. Okay, Python. What have you got? Okay. Sorry, just give me a moment. This one is a head scratcher. Okay. I think I understand what's going on here. So it's looking like this is meant to be a Cinescorch control. So their idea is not to burst out a lot of damage, where you're like hitting welders all the time, getting massive damage, taking Okos here and there. Instead, they're going the other way around. So what they're doing is they're using Pidgeotto to set up a lot of draw cards. They've got Snorlax as well. They're looking for Memory Capsule Cinescorch VMAX. And they're actually looking to use the first attack of Cinescorch, the Radiating Heat. So the whole idea is just constantly using energy discard as a way of controlling the tempo of the game, making sure that the opponents can't overwhelm them until they get set up. Once they get 4 or 5 energy onto a Cinescorch, then they'll start taking knockouts when they need to. Hey, Kapow with a rate of 11. How's it going? This deck is fun. Indeed. So this is something that I might play later on. So, because this is something that I've actually, like the concept is something that I've actually been looking to develop in Pokemon. Because in Magic the Gathering, control is a lot different than in, say, Pokemon. Control in Pokemon is trying to survive until your opponent decks out. It's as simple as that. Whereas in Magic, control is surviving the early game until you can get your big, high mana cost creatures out. This has the same concept where it's like, hey, I'm going to make sure using things like radiating heat, using crushing hammers, things like that, and it looks like they're playing Cheryl as well, just to control the game, control the tempo, making sure that you run out of steam. Once you're out of that steam, once you're like, hey, I've burst out all this, tried to burst out all this damage, all this energy, nothing's working, and you start whiffing a turn or two, that's when they can start going, okay, now I can build this damage up and start taking the knockouts to proactively win the game. Which I actually really like that. In Pokemon, it's very rare to see decks like that. It's either, hey, I'm going to punch you really hard in the face, or it's, I'm going to run around and try to run away from you until you tire out, collapse, and die from heat stroke or something. That's one of the two. So that's actually a really cool list. So I'm going to definitely put that to the side. We'll have a look at that later. Okay, there's a lot of variety here in the list. I'm actually liking this tournament. Alright, so ADPZ. Any hammers? Every time you look at an ADPZ list, look for hammers. If they've got hammers, throw the list away. It's trash. They got lucky, they sacked. If it's not got hammers, then it's potentially a good list and it's worth looking at. I'm going to add Rose, but I don't know where to fit it. It's fine, I just had bad World match. Yeah, the Control Center Scorch list is going to suffer against decks that can accelerate energy out. You're going to have issues next format, most definitely. As decks have ways of surviving. Right now, it's like, hey, look, as long as you can control the game long enough, you'll probably survive, because your opponent's not able to dish out consistent enough damage to OHKO you. So I think a product of its time, it's just missing a way. Maybe what you need is a way to deal with fire and just go proactive, like, hey, here's an Empoleon. Here's a single Empoleon. Get Empoleon out. Just start dicking it. I don't know. It is food for thought. I can definitely look at it, though. Because there's enough welder decks in the format to justify having tech for it. Single Strike's looking good after rotation, yeah. Back to the ADP. Pretty standard. One more while. So this deck, they don't care about Decidueye in any way, shape, or form. They're just playing the one more while. If a deck is worried about, again, things like Decidueye, ability blocking, attack blocking, things like that, what they'll do is they'll run either 2 more while, which is actually I prefer 2 more while, or, because it's just the flexibility in different matchups, or the Aegislash, which is pretty useless in a lot of other matchups, but really good against the Decidueye. But this is just like, hey, look, we've got the one more while. This is all we need. So, hey, it's ADP. 200 spinners, yeah, it is, to be consistent. They're running just the one Marnie. I don't know how I feel about that. I prefer 2 Marnies. Just as a personal preference. But they are running 3 Dedenes, so maybe 2 Dedenes extra. I don't know. I do not know. Cinderace. Now that is not a card I've seen. Well, I hate 372 ADP decks, yeah. This one, okay. Cinderace VMAX. So if you haven't seen this one before, because let's face it, we haven't seen it in a while. You're looking at your counters, your max Pyro Ball. It's just nice, consistent damage. It is on a VMAX though, so I mean, it's never been amazing. There's always just been better options. But hey, it did well. It placed well. Running one Skylar. Okay, no. One Skylar's good. It's a great way of finding your reset stamps. You get your reset stamps. They're running some interesting tech cards in here, though. Brutal Edge. This is a tech card that does see very rare play. Just the ability to, it's like, hey, look, we've done some damage. This is a way to really finish it off, though. Zangoose is really good in very specific circumstances. In welder decks, it's usually really good. The problem is that in welder decks, you usually have better options. So, yeah, no, that's good to see. They are playing the Galarian Rapidash V. So that combo of the Rapidash V, as well as the Zangoose, is massive. That's going to take huge knockouts just by that combo alone. And then you got Cinderace as well. They all work together very nicely in a welded sort of package. They've got the Heatran GX. Everything else looking pretty good. So not bad. Definitely something different. And that's sometimes, we have to look at things and go, you know what? It is different, so we just have to appreciate it. And it's done well. Alright, Eternatus. 2 Veltor, 1 Sableye V. Probably because Hooper, they're going this way, because I think Hooper's still banned. Hey, Catamani. Yeah, I will do that now. Actually. I can do that now. We'll do it live. No. No. It's in one of these. We'll worry about it later. Alright. I'll do it later. Yeah, so Hooper's still banned, I believe. Because they were having that issue. I want to share a list I got second with. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll fix that up. Yeah, because the Hooper was banned in PTCGO after the fact that they broke it somehow. I don't know how they broke the Hooper. So originally the Hooper was, if you move it to the active spot, Hooper got unbanned. Alright, cool. So they must have fixed it. That's alright then. Hooper glitch got fixed. How did they even break that? I want to take a second to actually think about how the hell did they break that? What? I swear, they hurt my brains sometimes, those guys. They really hurt my brains. Yeah, okay, so the glitch was, to attack with Hooper, you had to move it from the bench to the active, so you can do the 90 damage. Think of it like Zapdos, yeah? The thing was is that people could hit for maximum damage, the 90 damage, without having to swap, after they fixed something else. So there was a patch, they've fixed the bug, and broke Hooper in the process, which makes no sense. So for a while, people couldn't play Hooper. It was kind of hilarious. Alright, we've got the green Mew3. I've been seeing a little bit of this on the ladder recently. It is still a very scary deck. It is still a very scary deck. With the Air Grow, Rillaboom. I mean, if you face against Air Grow before, you know what you're doing here. I do like the focus on the Mew3 package though. Because in the past, it used to be, hey, we just play one, just in case. It's just a tankier version of Air Grow that isn't weak against fire. Whereas now it's like, hey, we want to play 2 of them, just as a great way to deal with Urshifu, as well as a way to play the deck without having to put fire weak Pokemon out. While we're doing that, let's just throw in a package. So they also throw in Incineroar, Dragonite, Pheromosa, all great tech cards. Able to fill in those damage numbers if you're just missing. Pika just never dies, by the way. Respect for Grass Mewtwo, absolutely. Trade a Zig for a boss. Ah. Alright, big guy, 1, 2, 3. Pikarom. Running the Stealthy Hood as well, I think that's necessary moving forward. I'm not sure about 1 though. I think the Tool Scrapper is going to be see more play. I know in all my Dragonpult lists, all my Urshifu lists, anything that runs Mimikyu, I'm also throwing in a Tool Scrapper. Just because, hey, I want it to work. So, I would be almost leaning towards 2, but if 1's working, 1 is good. For Crushing Hammer, it's very sad to see a deck that I used to love and respect, which was Pikarom. Pikarom got me 2019 Worlds Invite, purely off its back. It got me 33rd at the OIC, and then I see it playing for Crushing Hammer, and it just makes me sad. It is a very depressing thing to see. Alright, got Luca Metal. Luca Metal has been actually a big issue for me. Playing for the Players' Cup, it was the deck that I feared the most. Its ability to deal with Urshipult is scary AF. And there was no good way to deal with it. Phoebe was just not good enough. In here, it is all looking nice and dandy. Run to Scrapper, 3 Malana. Yeah, nothing too spicy. If you played against Luca Metal before, this is pretty much the 60 that you're running into. Every dumps on E-turn and ATP rightly so when they run hammers, but people give Pika hammers with a pass. No, I don't. I absolutely, it makes me sad. It actually makes me sad to see Pika with hammers. The thing though is, Count Money, is that hammers need to serve a purpose. They must serve a purpose for a matchup. In Pika Rom, you can kind of justify it. Because in Pika Rom, it's, hey, going second against ADP is very scary. Because you want to go second playing Pika. You really do. You want to go second, you want to get the Bolton out, you want to do all that. Doing that against ADP is suicidal. So, their solution is a Crushing Hammer. Eternatus with, has the exact same issues. And with some of the other matchups as well. It's justifiable to a degree. I just really bloody hate it. But some decks like ADP should absolutely in no way, shape or form be playing Crushing Hammer. Because your deck is already very inconsistent as it is. It used to be one of the most consistent decks in format. Then they took out the Jirachis because, hey, we lost the escape board. So they took out the Jirachis and just went pure just sack. Now, ADP runs more support Pokemon. They run more Crobats, Eldegoss, and Dedenes than they do ADP and Zacians, which tends to cause an issue where you often start Dedenne when you're playing ADP, and then you brick. How do you stop that? By taking out crap cards like Crushing Hammers that are useless if you brick, and adding in consistency cards like more great Cherish Balls and things like that, so you can actually do the things that you need to do to win. Crushing Hammers, I tell you. They are, And not the good, it's the, Alright, I'm going to assume that the Luca Metals are probably about the same. I feel Luca Metal, okay, so this one was actually playing the Labyrinth and some more Cape of Toughness when compared to this one. Yeah, this one's just running the 4 Metal Goggles. Whereas here, they're running the Cape of Toughness, which does give it a little bit more options, a little bit higher HP. It just can't be put onto the Luca Metal. That's the only weakness here. It's the only weakness. It can't be put onto the Luca Metal. But all in all, it does give you just a little extra HP, which does help. They're only playing the 2 Malon Liner. They do have a bit of a more fleshed out Tower Call engine though. Only 2 Quick Balls, but they are relying on Capture Energy to the side here instead of just pure Metal Energy. Okay, so that's an interesting interpretation of the list. Another Eternatus. It's going to be the same probably. 2 Yveltal. They're not playing the Sable IV. The one Phoebe. Crushing Hammers. It's just sadness. Sadness to see a deck like Crushing Hammers. Altaria coming in at 12th. That's actually a really good meta call, actually. When you saw a lot of the lists, Eternatus was running Phoebe, but a lot of the other lists not really playing counters. Like ADP wasn't playing counters. He was actually ADP can't KOVs with capes. Yeah, absolutely. So, that's interesting. So that's good to see. Great meta call there. Oh, Luca Metal. Okay, so this is the Mewtwo with Urshifu. I'm not sure how I feel about the deck. I do like Urshifu with Horror House GX. My experimentations with it have actually been really amazing. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Kung Fu is actually pretty on point. One thing, if you do play a lot of Mew 3, you would know exactly how clunky the deck can feel at times. So you get this clunky deck, you're adding the consistency of a stage 1 Pokemon into it, smashing it together and going, hey, please don't brick. That is a problem. But, like Urshipult, if things flow correctly, if you don't brick, it's not bad. Trevor, Dust Noir 1, 2 Gengar Mimikyu. Liking all that. Just not a fan of its consistency. 1 Stealthy Hood. Again, it's just... playing just... But hey, it's won a tournament, so it can't possibly be that bad. I say that, and then someone's going to take the list, take up 4 random cards. They're going to put in 4 Crushing Hammers. They're going to win a tournament and go, that's how you evolve the deck. And it's going to piss me off. Brick foo free indeed. We have Mad Party. I don't think there's been much evolution in Mad Party. I remember there was that little bit of a meme. Level Ball has really helped the deck though, I will say. The amount of times I've been sacked by Mad Party because of Level Ball, it's been a little disgusting, but hey. I remember there's been a bit of discussion about Giovanni's Exile. Absolutely play Giovanni's Exile. You just play it. I'm not going to say what quality of player you are if you don't. I'm just saying you really should. From there, we've got straight Urshifu. We've got a Munchlax list. So the Marshadow, because of Wondrous Labyrinth. What a warlord. Alright, Munchlax. So we've got control. But see, this is what I mean about control in Pokemon. It is very much of, hey, I'm just looking to survive. I'm going to be using Will, Munchlax. We're going to be using Crushing Hammers, Yell Horns. We're going to be using all these things to survive until my opponent decks out. And that's it. That's all that this deck is. Survive until my opponent decks out. And that, as a control archetype, is very... When you play it, it can feel like... you can feel like a god. When everything goes right, it can feel like a god. And yet, deep down inside, every turn, you go, I hope they don't top deck what they need. I hope they don't... doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. Deep down inside, you're like, at any moment... this could all just burn down in front of me and I could just lose this game out of nowhere. As long as that doesn't happen, I'll win. That's what it feels like playing control decks like this. And it's like, it can be sketchy. That's why I don't play stall. I feel alive playing control. I did enjoy playing Poipole stall. I will say I enjoyed that. That was an enjoyable experience. Every other time I've played control, it has not been enjoyable. It has been very stressful. I play games to enjoy and have a good time, not to have panic attacks every single turn. Got some more Altaria. We got a Dragon... We've got a Charizard list. I know what. Okay, here we go. Dragon Pulse. Straight Dragon Pulse. What have we got? And it is just straight Dragon Pulse. Playing the Fion. So got the Scoop Up. Playing the 1 Yell Grunt. This is one of the only times I will say... Yeah, no, the Sentient Denial is a great control deck. I am going to enjoy experimenting with that and developing that, because that is the type of control that I want to see in Pokemon more often than just, oh shit, I hope I survive. Because it can proactively take a win con, instead of just going, oh shit, I just hope my opponent does not. Yeah, it's one of those very rare circumstances that I think... Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I honestly believe it was a meta call. I think they've gone, the 3 giant bombs should just be enough to pull them over the line against any Eternas that they play, but they're also hoping that no one plays Eternas. I think, so this is what I believe Blueberry has done. Blueberry has gone, Urshifu has been showing a lot more success recently. It has finally started to really step up there, which means Eternas is going to be seeing less and less play. I believe that there won't be as much Eternas this time around. I reckon I can dodge them. I reckon I can dodge that matchup. So I think that's what's happened here. He's gone, okay, I'm going to go the Giant Bombs. I'm going to go this, I'm going to go that. And I just dodge Eternus. I wonder if there's a way to see its pairings. I want to see all... boo. I have to... No. So let's say I want to go through and see if I can see all their matchups, but... Yeah, no, I have to click on each and every single one of them. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So yeah, I think they look to dodge Eternus, and I reckon they hit a couple. You need to go to the metagame? Yeah, no, I need to see... What I want to see is how many Eternus they paired up against. That's what I want to see. That's all I want to see. Is how many Eternatus did they pair up against? And that I don't think I can see. Go to their profile, then click matches. Okay. Let's do that then. Okay, there you go. So the loss against Pika is understandable. So they would have gone up against... like, you tend to just lose against Energy Denial. So you would have lost there. Against the other Dragonpult, I reckon it's going to be the same as well. Just hit heads. And then you're going up against the Energy Control Centers. Gosh, that would have been disgusting. That would have been a very frustrating matchup. So the only way you could have dealt with Python's deck is if you have... you would have to basically just go pure bench. And go, okay, I'm going to sack a couple single prizes. And then I just need to get several energy out onto 2 different Dragonpults. And then it just... No, it is not happening. It is not happening. From there, the Victini win is actually interesting. Everything else seems about right. Huh. Well, there you go. This night bench and you and get only drag on the field. Yeah, the problem is the energy denial. That's going to always be the trouble. Is the amount of, like, once they start hitting heads and they start, like, discarding energy, is going to be very frustrating to keep the pressure going. And then when you finally get enough damage on the board, they're going to Cheryl and heal off all the damage and just do it all over again. And then you're just going to cry. You're just going to run out of energy. It would be a disgusting matchup. I can't win with anything so frustrating. Yeah, I understand the feel. Hey, Vivian, how's it going? Remember before Hammer Peak Dragon used to dominate Peak, if I remember. I wouldn't call it dominate. But yeah, it was very winnable. So Charizard VMAX. Okay. So they're running a 3-3-2 Inteleon line as a way to have consistency getting their fire crystals and welders and stuff like that. I don't hate it. I actually don't. I don't hate it. It's a meme. I wouldn't go into a tournament playing that and having confidence, but I would play a local with it. It seems like a fun list to play at least. You got the level balls, just set that all up. Burning Scarf is a very interesting one as well. Modifying damage as well as Confusion and Burn, I want to say. Or is it just Burn? Knocked out, just Burn. Still, that's an extra 20, 30 damage potentially. So we won't hate on that. That's actually a cool inclusion. All in all, I actually don't mind this list. From here, anything else too spicy? We've got the single strike Urshifu. Ooh, a Tina. Is this going to be Green's Tina, I want to say? At 5-3. Yeah, so it's a green Magneton Wheezing. So you're looking to control. You got the Roxys. No, not to control. Do more damage, should I say. Because this is the blow away one. So you do more damage. You got Leon to do more damage. You're spreading damage counters around. That turns on your Calamitous Slash. I don't know. Deck feels like it still needs... Well, it does have Karate Belt, so it's not too bad. You're going to fall behind. It is playing Lucario V. Wait, it's the other one. The other Weezing plays Jesse and James. This one is the Roxy one. Yeah, Dojo helps hit the numbers as well. Belt, just so you can do damage. On turn 2, you can actually attack, which is very important. It's running the Lucario V, which is very cute. I think as a 2-prizer, it's not bad. But again, it's also putting the 20 damage on another one, which still turns on your Calamitous Slash. So it's not a bad list, but it is still a greens deck. And greens deck means money fodder. Every time I see a deck that plays greens, I'm like, hey, find my Marnie, find my Mewtwo, find my Scoop Up Nets for just hell. Just give them hell. And then they just GG end you, and you're like, oh, okay, that's right. That's also a thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of green decks in the current format. Single Strike Urshifu. Anything really new in here? No, I just don't think it's the time for Single Strike Urshifu. I've never had an issue playing against the deck. They can still sack. It happens, but hey. They're not playing any of the Tyranitar V, which is interesting. I guess they just weren't expecting anything. I just weren't expecting Dragonpot, I guess. You don't like the Jirachi GX? It's, sorry, just let me click on this guy's name and go ban that guy. Plant makes it so useless. Plant's not the issue. Plant, not many decks. ADP is still very playable, and if you're looking for keys, I'll probably still play ADP. Plant is not your issue. The issue is actually your Mimikyu, the ability blocking Mimikyu. So it forces you to attach a Stealthy Hood onto it, just to stop your Pokemon from being weak against Psychic Pokemon, which against like a Dragon Ball list, you're just going to lose. ADP hard. ADP is very easy to play. ADP very easy to play. Boss game. From here, we've got another Dragon Pult list. I don't think there's going to be much different here. Alright, this is the Fable Pult though. So this was a list that several people, including myself, were working on in the Darkness Ablaze format. I remember someone asked me in chat. It was like, hey, can you make... Because I love me some Dragon Pult. And they're like, can you make Dragon Pult good? Can you just do it? And so it's like, well, how do you deal with Eternatus as Dragon Pult? Because you need reliable energy denial. As good as Crushing Hammers are, they're not reliable source of energy removal. Yell Grunt is okay, but you can't just continuously spam Yell Grunt. Like you could, because you have like Mewtwo, Scoop Up Nest and things like that, but it might just not be enough. You need to be able to search it out to be able to really make it work. And that's where Clefable comes in. So you run I used to run actually a 3-3 line. They're running a 2-2 line. So that's a great way of consistently having energy denial. But they've got a huge energy denial here. Now that I'm looking at the list a little bit more. They're not only playing the 4 Crushing Hammer as well. They're also playing 1 Yell Grunt and 2 Fan of Waves. So they've got 2, 4... So they've got 6, 7, 9. Your nets become energy denial as well. 13 because of Clefable. You've got a lot of ways to remove energy. It is kind of dumb. It is kind of dumb. I would almost be thinking of maybe cutting a Crushing Hammer or 2. Even if it's just 2. You just go 2 Crushing Hammer, 2 Fan of Waves. Sounds good to me. And the Tina as well. Tina Scoop Up now. More energy denial. It is actually dumb. And that's why I love it. See, I'll think for that type of energy denial Dragon Pult, more consistency cards and just a little bit less energy denial. But I do like where they're going with it. Some Victini lists. Really? We have a Zarude list. Alright, Albite. What do we got here? Okay, so it's just Decidueye with Zarude? So they're just looking to heal up their Decidueye. No. Like, I mean, against something like Shred and stuff like that, where, I mean, I guess against Dragapult, it might actually be an okay tech, but then you're putting down a 2 Prizer, which just, no, I'm not feeling this one. I've been liking some of the spice, but this is not one of the ones that I like. This is not one of the ones that I like. From here, I can tell you, someone actually played Toxtricity. Alright, let's have a look at it, guys. At this point, we're definitely going into meme territory here, yeah. We're definitely going into meme territory. We're just looking to see if there's any ways that potentially the list could be improved to make it go from meme to potentially rogue tier. Vikavolt interesting in the current meta. Slowbro, Malana. There's no way you could fit in Cheryl into this list, could you? Not really. Because there's 2 lightning. Yeah, not its time. Not its time. Colossal totally died, right? I haven't seen Colossal in a while. I don't think it's totally dead. I just think there's better options. It's like, hey, why play Colossal when you can just play something that is fighting and is more consistent and does more damage and is just overall better, which is Urshifu. So it's just one of those things. Grass, you don't have, and like lightning, it's that funky one. It's like, what happens if you just don't want to play Pika? What lightning are you going to play? Coco maybe? That's still meme-ish tier. So yeah, I don't mind people experimenting, playing around. Okay, Alchemy. I actually lost to Alchemy the other day. It was very depressing. Just 2 Crushing Hammers. At that point, why even play Crushing Hammer? You just replace that and put in 2 useful cards. They are playing the Zaru, which is a bit of an interesting one. So basically, you're just looking for your life drain. Which, I mean, look, life drain's not bad, yeah? Life drain's not bad. But you still need to pull it off. And if you're not playing Will, should we do that at one point? Should we just do that at one point? Just make a Zaru Will deck. And the whole idea is you just go life drain. And then you've got scoop up net Zigzagoons. Just purely for the meme. I know you've got Katana there. You can poison. You can probably use poison here as well. But we're talking about something different than Katana. Something different. But I think that's pretty much it. I think everything here is going to be in the meme tier. There was a Snorlax, Munchlax deck. People are like, oh yeah, Snorlax is so good. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay, I'll look. This will be the last one from this tournament I'll look at anyway. Gaznog, Naganadel. Come on, with the purple. Naga GX. Ends Resolve. So they've got an Ends Resolve Naga. Okay, that's Benjamin. You get some credit. You get some credit. You're playing Ends Resolve. You have some mad respect. I think that's pretty much it. So we'll have a look at the other one. Because there's one more that was that I haven't done yet. GG Tour. There we go. I think I made a video on Nagas. Yeah, I think so. So let's have a look. Pika came first. Pika came first, 4th, 6th. Pika did all right at this tournament. And yeah, it's the one. Surprisingly, they're not playing the They're playing 2 Yell Grunt. They're not playing any Stealthy Hood, which I think is definitely a risk. As I said, for me personally, I'd prefer to see 2, But I'm also someone who likes to see 2 Raichus and a Alolan Raichus. And no one does that, so... take what I say with a pinch of salt. You got the ADP. Hey, look, another ADP. That was the highest placing ADP. Not playing Crushing Hammers. Maybe, chat, the idea is that you play ADP without Crushing Hammers, and maybe you might succeed more often. Just throwing it out there. Chat, just throwing it out there. All in all, they've got the 2 escape routes. Loving that. 4 boss. Great Catcher 1. Short of that, I mean, it's a pretty steady list. Love it. Love it as far as an ADP list is concerned. Altaria with the Snorlax. Bit of tech. Skylar. Birdkeeper. Yeah, it's an obnoxious list to deal with. We got another Tempozard. Tempozard's still doing alright. I am finding that Tempozard collectively as an archetype is starting to fall back a little bit. I think people are starting to get a feel for it with the matchup. So a lot of the time when there's a new archetype, it tends to do really well at the start. And one of the reasons for it is that your opponents don't know how to play against it. They don't know what they need to do to achieve their win con. They have an idea, but sometimes it's just not enough. You need to know exactly what you need to do to win. Whereas the Zard player, the Tempozard player, they're like, alright, cool, I know my win con. I know my path that I need to map out to win. Then after a while, what will then happen is people will get more experience against it, they'll be seeing streams, they'll play it, they'll lose, and they'll go, oh, so that's how you lose playing this deck. And then eventually players will get an understanding, a feel for it, and it starts to drop back down again. And I think that's what's starting to happen here. People are starting to get a feel for it. Pickers, Munchlax stall, we hate to see that. Ooh, okay, so having a single strike and 20th is actually a surprise. That is a legitimate surprise. It's a very consistent list. It's not playing many one-offs. Everything's like 4 this, 4 that, 3 of this. Everything else seems very good. So that's just a nice, solid list. No text, no fuss, just win. Victini. Straight Victini with a Charizard. Very good. I've seen some people play with Centiskorch. Don't hate it. We've got the Escadrille control. Well, we've seen that archetype enough. I think all in all, that's about it. I've been seeing a few Spiritombs lately. They've been a little bit annoying. Orbeetle has started to... Okay, Orbeetle's getting a lot of play from Japanese players. That's one thing I've noticed. Is that Japanese players have been loving their Orbeetle. Short of all that, we've got a hit and run list there. Very nice. Yeah, everything else seems pretty stock standard. We had Stefano Doozy go 1-1 drop with Urshipult, so we have to critique their list. They're just going to 2 Jirachi, so I don't like that. Definitely want to see that at like 3 or 4. And they're just going 1 to Denny, 1 Crobat. I don't think it's enough. Playing Crushing Hammer. I'm going to tell you why. That playing Crushing Hammer in Urshipult is a horrible idea. The biggest loss factor in Urshipult is your consistency. You will lose to yourself more often than you will lose to someone else. Second loss condition is going to be energy denial. So Crushing Hammers, Yell Grunts, fans, things like that. Especially fans, they're very obnoxious, very annoying. Teeners, you name it. That's loss condition number 2. 3 is if they can out-heal you. So things like Lucametal, Orbeetle, the ones that can actually deal with your constant, very low to medium damage output, they can deal with you. It's hard to get the right evolution. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, is that you brick. You're looking for the Dragonpult VMAX, you hit Urshifu VMAX, and you're like, shit, well, I guess I now lose. Things like that do happen. So you need to just go, okay, how can I make that more consistent as possible? Playing for Crushing Hammer does the exact opposite. That is more cards that you're going to start with that do not achieve your turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 goals. Turn 1 goal, get down your Dragapult, get down your Urshifu, get a Jirachi. Ideally, get an energy attached to your Dragapult. If not, it's not too bad if you don't get an energy turn 1. You go to plan B, which is you attach your turn 2 energy to Urshifu, get into a VMAX and you attack. Your standard turn 2 is you're looking to get your VMAX for your Dragapult, an attachment onto that Dragapult, and start spreading the damage from there. Then you're looking at setting up your Urshifu. That is what you're looking to do to achieve the good flow for Dragapult, like Urshipult. Crushing Hammers don't help with that goal. You buy you flip heads, you buy a turn. Good job, you bought a turn. But that turn, that extra turn you bought, you've then lost because you've bricked a turn because, hey, you got a Crushing Hammer instead of a Pokecom. You got a Crushing Hammer instead of a Pokemon. You got a Crushing Hammer instead of an energy card. I would definitely prefer them to be spinners or something. I've always thought that running basic energies with spinner is a very interesting idea. I have tried to experiment with basic energy and spinners. Haven't been able to make it work yet. It's still something I'm going to continue to revisit as I do minor tweaks and things like that. Because Jirachi, energy spinners, it all helps with that turn 1, turn 2 goal. They're playing Tool Jammer, I think is useless. Because unless if you can find it and attach it to the right Pokemon, then hey, yeah, you're good. The then problem is that it's passive in the sense that it's being used on your opponent's turn. Like, its most usefulness is during your opponent's turn where they can do something about it. Where they're like, hey, look, I'm just going to remove it. Hey, my hood's not active again. Whereas when you discard the hood, if they're just playing one, it's done. They're playing one hood and you discard it, it's gone. You're probably going to win because of it. So that, as a scrapper instead of a jammer, 100%. Your Crushing Hammers could definitely be more consistency cards. So I would probably go one more Jirachi, one more Con, probably another Aurora, and they're missing something else. Probably like a Mewtwo. I'll still want a Mewtwo in here. You want to be proactive instead of reactive. Indeed. Like, the thing about tools is that some tool cards are really good because it's going to be effective. Like, for instance, Choice Band. Yeah? Choice Band is great because when you attach it and you attack, that extra damage is being applied. Whereas something like Tool Jammer is only great if your opponent can't discard it that turn. If they can't discard it that turn, then hey, it's great. If they can discard it, then it's useless. It's done nothing. The hood's back up, they can still attack. They might not even play Tool Scrapper. Like, look, it is possible. But after a while, they will. Let's just say this caught on, yeah? Everyone started playing Tool Jammer instead of Scrapper. Then everyone who's playing Hood would play Tool Scrapper. And it would just go like that. And then eventually the other guys will be like, fine, I'll play Scrapper because it's better. Those are my thoughts. But yeah, for Crushing Hammers, definitely useless. Like, in such an inconsistent, bricky deck, you do not want this in your deck. You want something a bit more... You want more consistency cards in there. Most definitely. Probably got, like, I would say the 4 Crushing Hammers, Mewtwo, Dedenne, Jirachi, probably another energy. Anyway, so that's going to do for all this. So let me just open up PTCGO. And we're going to actually play some games with Urshipult. Because Urshipult is actually fun. Let me just get that all set up. Get it all loading. Because for some strange reason, it's not picking up. Huh. Because that's... There we go. Transition. There we go. And camera is still working. Fantastic. So we're going to go over my Urshipult list. Where are we at with the list? And we're going to play some more games with it. We're going to see if we can make some more changes, because this is a pet project of mine. Is Urshipult a tier 1 deck? No. Is it 1.5? I would love to say yes, but it's not quite there yet. It is definitely in the tier 2 list. But it has potential and it's enjoyable to play. So those are the things that, as you can see, I've got Urshipult, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yet they're all slightly different. They're all slightly, some just a tiny little bit different, just a tweaking numbers. Some are just really dumb. So this is the list that I'm currently running at the moment. So the big changes here is mainly that we're running the Gengar Mimikyu. It is a great way of dealing with Zamazentas. It's also a great way if you're going second against ADP, you go, or even going first. Because we're playing a large amount of Gust in this version of the deck. You're just going, okay, well, they've done their turn 1 Intrepid Sword. You just drop this down, touch energy, Horror House. You then look for your next turn for your boss. You get this guy out. You attack into the ADP. You're probably going to knock it out. Can you make Cherrim Colossal work? Probably at some point. I'll have a look at it. We're also playing a large amount of Gust. We're playing the Superior Tool Scrapper. We're running 4 Pokecom as well, and that's our way. I did try it with Tag Call Engine. Tag Call Engine was a bit too clunky. It's too slow. Like, you still want to be aggressively setting up. Tag Call Engine, where you're like, okay, well, I'm going to Tag Call for Cynthia and Caitlyn, or I'm going to Guzhala as well as get the Gengar Mimikyu. Then you've got no cards in hand. So I found it really difficult after using Guzhala to get out Gengar Mimikyu to follow up the next turn with a Horror House GX attack. But all in all, it is just, it's Urshipult with Gengar Mimikyu for a little bit of fun spice. So let's play a few games with that, shall we? So my bets are, very first game, we're going to be playing up against Crushing Hammer. Who agrees we're going to see a Crushing Hammer this game? Should we keep a tally of how many Crushing Hammer is played and how much is heads? Because I actually did that for my Players Cup. I've got it on my phone. So I don't have the thing there. There was like 95 Crushing Hammers were played against me for Players Cup 4, with like 72 of them being heads. It was something really stupid like that. This is actually a really difficult one. I might not want to show my Gengar Mimikyu, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to anyway. And if I then lead... but that's still an easy knockout. I'm actually going to lead with the Dene. Just in case if I can get another Pokemon, I can hide this Gengar Mimikyu tech. I'm going to be sneaky about it. What are we up against? We're against Fairy? Okay. This is not what I was expecting. So this is making me think Gardevoir. They're playing Leon and Lieutenant Surge Strategy. Okay. Okay, so this is really good for us, actually. So it is Gardevoir Sylveon. We can hide the tech. So we're going to get Urshifu open. Probably going to not need... can get rid of that for now, because I should have Mewtwo. No, my Mewtwo's prized. Go figure. That's alright. We still got plenty of Gust options. Only got one Urshifu, 2 VMAX. So a lot of our tech is actually prized. Got one more boss. Alright. So we're going to lead this. Green's Guardian, I believe, as well, yeah. So hopefully that will mean they'll get a large hand size. And if it is large enough of a hand size, I might just dump down Gengar. They'll have a lot of trainers in the hand for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So holding on to the Gengar Mimikyu so they're not as tempted to just play down all their items may be exactly the trap that we need to do. Whereas had we led with Gengar, they would have just dumped. Such a 2019 deck. Someone played it. Was it Azul? Tablemon? Someone played it. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, we can still play this deck in 2021. So let's play it in 2021. And let's all get absolutely dumped on by Zacians. Alright, so Green's Exploration and Attack Call is good. So Attack Call is going to get them the... Probably... Ooh, what is it going to... It's obviously going to be another Guardy, sadly. And then one other stuff. So hopefully another trainer. Hey, we've been doing pretty good, mate. Pretty good. I just haven't been doing online tournaments. Okay, so they did go to Gardevoir Sylveon, which is a little bit annoying. I was hoping that they'll get one more trainer. So they're going to bench them both. They got 5. Energy Spinner. So I would assume they've got 5. So the 250. And Fairy Song. Okay. I still reckon it's worth it. I might... Yeah, I think it's worth it. We've hit the switch, hit the evolution. We can Horror House. I might still Zigzagoon ping the active. Annoyingly enough, I've got 2 boss in the discard now, which is annoying. Otherwise, I'd like to boss this up. This is feeling like this is a sack, though. Hey, Cashman, how's it going? How you doing? Yeah, I think they're gonna sack this. So what we'll do is we'll get a Dragon Pod out. Start getting ready for that. Do I want more? Hey, MWDC. How's it going? Hey, you like this deck? Nice. Yeah, I know, right? So we're just gonna Poltergeist. And then we'll go into next turn. We'll Marnie next turn. Alright, sweet. So that's going to be the KO. We got the Mewtwo, so that we can finally get those Gusts back. So what I might do is evolve Mewtwo, put a Boss's Order on top of the deck, then Marnie. Then I've got Boss for next turn. Though, they had a lot of trainers. Sorry, a lot of supporters. So they might not have a way to thin their deck out. So we might just be able to win just from another Poltergeist. Did a guy yesterday, so I'm guessing someone copying what he posted. Yeah, that's what I think. Wondrous Labyrinth is coming out. That's fine. We can just research. They're stamping us. Alright, so we got game. I reckon. Oh, close to game. We will attach here. Because they play green, stamp. We might be 1 damage short, actually. So I might actually go for the Zigzagoon. Just quickly. Just to confirm the kill. If they don't scoop. We'll see if they scoop. Alright. So, I think we need a Zigzagoon ping here. Mewtwo for boss, so in case they switch. I've got boss in hand. Boss Urshifu sounds about right. So that's all feeling good. So I'm just going to Zigzagoon ping. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what... It should be game. Yeah, they must have been just by 1. I had a feeling it was going to be 250 damage. Yeah. Alright, so game 1 up against Guardian felt pretty good. The thing that was really good for that game and a really good showing for the game was that, so Cashman, I think you missed it. My starting hand had Dedenne and I opened Dedenne with the Mimikyu Gengar and I actually benched the Dedenne as my open because I wanted to keep it as a surprise tech. And it did actually trap him, so hey, it worked. Sometimes you do have to make very weird calls like that. Traditionally, you don't want to, but Gengar Mimikyu's surprise factor is just so important. If you can avoid opening it, it's good. Is this a deck for yeah, this is the new one. This is the new one up on Facebook. I actually put on Twitter as well. So this is the one that plays 0 Great Balls, Tag Calls, or anything like that. It's playing 4 Pokecoms as its way of getting out Gengar Mimikyu consistently. Galaxy Brain. No, but I also had supporters, so I didn't mind it so much. Alright, so this is big brain time. It's not really. I'm going to. Do I throw down the Urshifu now to try to bait that? Nah, it doesn't really help. So I'll just hold it. With Rachis? Nah. This is a good deck. This is good deck. This is Urshipult. So it's a good deck. Alright, so we're up against Inteleon. Okay. So it's a little bit annoying. If they just open Sobble. Let's see where they go from here. It's honestly Urshipult's tier 2, but it has potential. It's just trying to make everything work. I would like for them to grab Dedenne. I want to see Dedenne. If they Dedenne and they don't put down... Okay, so there's another Sobble. So... Gengar Mimikyu is not looking very good. So we can hold that tech. And we'll try to keep it hidden. It's just a question, where do I want to lead from? Urshifu or Dragonpult? I still want to lead Dragonpult, honestly. Because Urshifu I can always attach to if need be. And then just evolve. Alright, got a Marnie. I'm gonna go the Marnie because I do want to keep the Gengar Mimikyu secret. Fill their hand up. They dump a bunch of cards. Yeah, so they drop a bunch of cards, like draw a bunch of cards. Then we Gengar Mimikyu and go from there. That feels good, actually. So we'll hold that. I think Urshirachi's is probably better than Octillery. No, okay, Urshifu with Jirachi is optimal. Octillery is... You're running an extra stage 1 into a deck that really relies on consistency. Like, Urshifu loves the fact that it can just, like, boss game sort of thing. It has that almost same mentality as an ADP would. It just loves to be able to have that consistency. Alright, so this is looking really good for us. So they've dropped down the Snom now. If they put Inteleon into the active, we've trapped them. So I'll be interesting to see if they do, if they go for the Hydro Snipe. You're playing... Okay. You're doing post-rotation. Alright. Urshi Zacian. Alright, this one's a little bit more awkward now. Let's see what they draw here. Probably a fan. Crushing Hammer, something along those lines. Team Yell Grunt. Alright. Will they put the Inteleon active? Yes. Alright, cool. With 5. The problem is, it can Hydro Snipe. So if I attack with, it doesn't help yet. But if I attack with Dragapult, they then do those two things. Next turn, I then Horror House. No. I think I just have to go a more traditional route where I just go Dragapult, knock out this Snom. And then as they get rid of both these energies, I attack with Urshifu. So I might need 2 Urshifus. It's still a wish. This will actually do. So I need a couple of stuff. You can go up. Because I make this now VMAX. So I do have 2 Urshifu VMAXs, so I might do that. So we'll get a Dedenne. No, Dedenne, thank you. We'll Dedenne. And we'll see if we can find another... Ah, Power Plant! Shit. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, we probably just lose here. Unless if I get a legendary top deck. Okay, you know what? Fine. Big brain planes. Big brain planes. Big brain plays. See, I knew I was going to unprize this research. So I knew exactly what I needed to get. Yeah, so there comes the 2 energy denials. They still only got the 1 energy there. Oh, that's the worst top deck though. That is actually the worst top deck. I do 60. That puts it at 190. 190, 290. Yeah, so I'm going to Shred. So if they do it again, I'll just attach the Aurora onto the Rapid Strike Urshifu and take the knockout. There was no way for me to stop this Frostmoth from happening. So the fact that it's now out is a little bit scary. Hopefully I can draw into a Marnie. Marnie would actually be really good here. Marnie would be stellar. So I don't want to lose this Urshifu. Like the second Urshifu VMAX, ideally. But I might just need to. If I shred twice more... 120... Is it worth the risk, or do I just take the knockout? 5, 3, 2... energy denial. It's 160, 320. The thing is that if they hit the VMAX, they take the knockout here, so I have to be proactive. Sadly. So we do hit the switch. Alright, so we'll drop that down. We'll switch. So when they do energy denial, I'll switch into this Jirachi, and I'll see if I can get out of it. So my goal now is to find my boss. So yeah, so what I might actually do, just ignore this VMAX. and just go boss knockout, boss knockout. Unfortunately, I'll be doing 60 damage with this. Do I have any boss in here? No, I don't. Because I can still guarantee a boss for next turn with Mewtwo. This could be getting Reset Stamp, I reckon. I reckon they're going to get Reset Stamp and... Okay, Reset Stamp, Level Ball. Yeah, so I think we're in a lot of trouble now. Will they two-shot us? No, they can't. Unless they get Mew. If they get Mew, they can just Max Bullet. Without Mew, they can't Max Bullet. They have to Hydro Snipe. I mean, maybe you just go, hey, look, I think you're just going to brick. Which we have, by the way. Oof, they had absolutely everything, actually. This is a ugly turn of events. So once again, we're going to have to pray to the gods that our top deck is legendary. So we still had plenty of Marnies and researchers. Suspicious. I'm going to give him the Dedenne. Jirachi is just too important. So they will take 2 prizes, but as long as they just take 2 prizes, and I can scoop up net this Jirachi, then it's okay. I've still got scoop up nets left, so I just need to get this guy out. So they'll go 160-60. I lead Jirachi. Hopefully I get a supporter out. Scoop up net, get rid of him, and that will force them to go through both my Dragonpult. They could have just cost them game. Honestly, they could have just cost them game. Getting rid of this energy is like paramount. Now, especially if they cannot find Mew, I can just go 120 knockout. Not removing this energy could just lose them this game. This being a drizzle is not enough because I can still go 120. If I need like rare candy or something, which they don't play. Maybe they have fans. I haven't seen any fans. Yeah, so there's just the max bullet. And they're putting the 60 onto the Dragonpult, interestingly enough. Not pressuring the Jirachi. Well, I guess if I whiff the Jirachi, if I don't get a way out. So that doesn't help. We need a switch out, and we need the energy. Jeez, I don't think that's enough. Because, yeah, no Crobat. The down 2 boss. Do they play a third is the question. Alright, so our only option from here is to grab a Mewtwo. Put research on top. I'm going to attach it onto here. And let's see if they've got boss. If they've got boss, they probably just... Actually, no, it's not enough. Because this guy's 120. So yeah, I should have game. Boss is not enough. So they take 3 prizes here, and then they do 60 to Jirachi. Not enough. 60 to Mewtwo, not enough. Yeah, they need 4 prizes. Count the money. They need 4 prizes. So that's 3. They need to take a double knockout. Yeah, so what they now need to do is remove 2 energy. They need to get rid of both these energies from my Urshifu. So they'll need Gust and a fan or something like that. And I haven't seen any fans. They've got Yell Grunt, but they can't Gust and Yell Grunt. So there's the Gust. They're going for that. Do they play a Zigzagoon maybe? If they got a Zigzagoon, then it's game. They're just retreating. So they're going to take the knockout with Aqua Bullet? That's not enough. Well, I guess it is setting up though. I guess it is setting up. It's forcing me to have a switch, which I do have some of. Yeah, that's what I think as well. So you can go 120, 60, so 120, 20, and then just be like, hey, if you don't have Rapid, then I win. He hasn't got many cards left. I don't think he's got Mew. Tell you what, I should have just grabbed Marnie. Could have just bricked him out. Anyway, so now we need energy. So it has to be either an Aurora or the Rapid Flow energy and a switch. So it is still a little sketch. So we got the sketch. No! We're one short. We are actually one short. Bugger. Actually bugger. And I'm not even taking a knockout on Inteleon. That's annoying. That's annoying. No, but what am I gonna... there's no way for me to dig into what I need. That's the problem. Because I need the Rapid Strike energy. And I can't Dedenne because of Power Plant. And I don't have... So my best bet now is to switch in to here. And then just attack. Because if they have boss, there's nothing I can do. Nah. Yeah, it's 2 fighting. That's why I needed the one more Aurora or the Rapid Flow energy. So now I'm forcing them to have boss. So if they have boss, then they win. But they've got 7 cards left. So Marnie's not enough. Is a rope enough? Rope is enough. If they've got escape rope, they win. That I can't stop. Because that's 120. Yeah, rope I can't stop. So we'll see. If they play rope, we lose. If they don't play rope, we should win. We should win. Assuming... Yeah, no, Hydro Snipe's fine. Because he can't go... Because I can still get the Rapid Strike energy. So Hydro's fine. Max Bullet is fine. So he's going to take the knockout on the Dragon Pulse. And be like, hey. No, he's going for the Jirachi. Which is kind of fair. I don't mind that. So we need the Rapid Flow energy. Otherwise we just lose. what I am going to do, just quickly, because I can't Dedenne, is just get rid of this. Just get rid of that. Because I'm not too sure if they've got another water or not. So that might just force the Hydro Snipe if I don't have what I need. If I don't have what I need. It's very tempting to bring up the Frostmoth. But I don't know how many switch cards they have. So I won't take that risk. Yeah, alright, it's cool. So we just win. You have a good deck. G-Max Rapid Flow. Knockout. Knockout. So it's a little bit of a sketchy matchup. Very scary. Especially the fact that I had to dump my second VMAX. That was just frustrating. Yeah, it's interesting when you play different decks against different decks instead of like, hey, let's play ADP against ADP. Let's play Urshifu against Mewtwo. You know, the usual matchups. It's something different. Yeah, I'll throw it in the Discord. Actually, I'll do that now because that Discord link is old. So I'll fix that up now. Give me 2 seconds. I was going to do it before. And then invite people. There we go. So that's the Discord link if you want to join in. And I will throw this list up into Discord as well. I'll do that now as well. So deck list from stream. I'll throw it in there. It'll be the latest one. You'll also see it on the Facebook if you just want to copy it from there. So export deck. It is there. Bada bing, bada boom. So if you're looking for some Urshipult, very fun list. Let us continue. While that's happening, I'll just do that. And I forgot. There we go. Got that working now. Alright, J-Dubs. 2-1-1. Good luck and have all the fun. Because we're not playing Crushing Hammer. They're letting us go first. Interesting move. Interesting move. Could be Spiritomb. Could be Spiritomb. Even though I think it's what I think it is, I do want to still lead with Dragonpult. We'll have a see what they open with, and we'll make their decisions from there. If it is Spiritomb, it's actually not that bad. Dragonpult, it's very sketchy of a matchup because they do have the capes. So you can't always get the nice, clean bench knocker. Okay, so they're going the Rapid Strike Urshifu. They're probably regretting everything now. It just escalates very quickly. Tomb versus Dragon, absolutely. I'm trying to think what goes wrong from this point, and I don't think anything does. So we just go pass. Watch it as they play Crushing Hammers. So they're going to laser focus. I've kept these 2 quick balls. So what my goal now is to go, because they're going to probably want to find their Jirachi GX. One quick ball is going to be for my Mimikyu. The other one's going to be for a Zigzagoon. That will shut off their Urshifu. Yeah, so there's the Jirachi. So they'll shut it off, and then we can ideally Oko their Urshifu with what we've got. And they're just going to laser focus. So this could be a very embarrassing turn. They might just instantly scoop. That's all not enough. So we go with the original plan. So we've got the Mimikyu and we've got the Zigzagoon. Sad days ahead for this poor guy. Because we can put... So I'll show you what we do. We go Mimikyu, Zigzagoon, 1 ping on the Jirachi to shut it off. Then we're going to do 1 ping onto the Hound Door. So now we can go knockout, knockout if we can get the evolution and energy. So that's what we're looking for now. We got that. We can still deck thin as well. So we're going to put you back. We're going to grab... What could we grab? I think we just grab another Dragapult, honestly. Yeah, we'll just grab another Dragapult. We can thin a Jirachi. Put this down. Then we just research. So now we're just looking for energy. We got the energy. I'm happy just to get rid of the Urshifu at this point. And there's the scoop. That's why going second can be painful sometimes. But hey, they elected to do it, so it's on them. Alright, next match. Let us continue. Star Orange, good luck and have fun. Also, guys, I do have the Facebooks and the Twitters, so if you want more of my content, because I don't spend much time on Discord these days. My focus is usually on the Facebook and on the Twitters, so make sure you give me a follow on those things. Darkphoenix TCG on both Facebook and on the Twitters. Will we go first? Of course. Just in case. Interesting starting hand. Let's see what we're up against. We're against Snorlax. Okay. I'm happy to just use that. We'll get rid of the boss. Yeah, a Decidueye or Beetle. Spiritomb, no. Labs is annoying. That's twice now. That's twice. I actually took out Swell. I legit. Wow. Now I wish I didn't open Urshifu. Wow, that's wow. I can't Horror House though, because I don't have a Swell. Imagine just Horror Housing now. We'll grab Urshifu then. I'm just thinking. What I might do is actually Dedenne. Whoops, that was meant to be the wrong one. I was meant to grab so I can net that. That's right. We didn't hit what we want. That's fine. Get rid of that. Energy, is it really worth it? Doesn't really matter. We'll just hold this. I was hoping to hit a Marnie. Lol. Okay. This could be... Okay, so if it's Evolutionary Incense, that makes me think it's Cramorant. And they're bricking hard. I mean, we're not having much success either. I couldn't Jet Assault because of Wondrous Labyrinth. I've got no way of dealing with that. Against Cramorant, do I might just Dedenne here. No, you're right. So I'll go Jirachi Dedenne against Cramorant. We got the Urshifu. We got the Marnie. That's good. So now I need Scoop. Ideally, Scoop Up. Scoop Up energy from here would be perfect. Just not the Scoop Up. Just not the scoop up. Got another money anyway, so we'll just attach that. We'll just pass. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. I see how it is. We're definitely playing some very weird decks. Sir, I don't think that's what you're looking for. Scoop up net? No. I can't deal with both Porygons, which is a frustrating thing. Alright, I might just deal with the Mew then. Retreat. We've whiffed the scoop up net, which is fine. We max Phantom. Taking the knockout there. It's 2. I think we just full send onto the Mew. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the maths. So once Mew's gone, we're going to set up a turn where we can just take multiple prizes in one turn with Urshifu VMAX. And that will allow us to get through the Fluffy Cotton. Boss's Order. Not hating that. Toy Boxes GX. They're going to feel so sad. Unless if they're going big brain. Unless if they're pulling all these cards that they know are not good, dumping it onto the bottom of their deck, knowing that money's coming out to give them the highest chance. To give them the highest chance. We'll throw that. If he is big brain, indeed. So we just money. Yes. That's all looking good. I wish I hit a scoop up net though, so I could take knockout on here and here. But hey, this will just have to do. I'm very tempted to shred, but with my win con in mind, I want knockout here. We'll put one here, so that next turn we can just start looking to knockout. I might just full send it though. No, because we can put on the Porygon, setting it up so that when we do Rapid Flow... Mimikyu still in the deck? No. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting Cramorant, so I ditched it. Which is really annoying. Lol. So they got Skylar. So they Skylared for something. Is it worth the money then? So they get plus one card, but one card that they need is on the bottom of the deck. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the money. Alright, so we want... Alright, so we got Tails, that's good. We can go 1, 2. So it's 9, 8. We can it's 1. No, okay, so we're going to put it onto this Porygon here, the remainder. So that way, if they switch into the benched Whimsicott, we'll be able to Rapid Flow 120, 120 for a double knockout. And they still haven't got Porygon ZR, by the way. It's such a risk running this. Like, if it was last set, I'd be happy running this Porygon. But I think against spread decks now, because spread decks are starting to see a little bit more, 150 is not good enough. Energy bar. Alright. So it's a bit sad that we don't have... I'm just thinking. Because we can go knockout, knockout. Yeah, we can just attach this here. Discard this. If they hit into us, they just lose. We can go 1, 2. Just load up here. So again, they're in that ugly position now where they can't actually attack with this Whimsicott. Because if they do, they just lose because of the High House energy. So they have to attack with this Whimsicott. So they have to attack with this Whimsicott, as well as somehow deal with this Rapid Strike Urshifu. Rosa is coming out. So we do win though, I believe. So even if they stamp us, I think we just win. No, I stamped them. Sorry, I manied them. So they Rosa'd, and I manied them. So that's from something else. So, because I had the 3 cards in hand. So I was just like, So I have to heal this guy up. Otherwise we just win. So crazy code. Maybe they're just... Okay, so they're just going to go for it. They're going to go, I know they're going to knock me out with the horror energy, but I just have to full send for the meme. So they're going to attack. You have a good deck. Knock themselves out. We'll take the W. We really need to fit in a Swole. Because that's twice now. The stadiums have really screwed us. So not having access to Swell is causing an issue. So we might look at that now. Might look into that now. Alright, count the money. Thank you, thank you. Take care. Have a good one. Alright, so let's think about it. Let's just add the Swell. And then think about the cut. Alright, I do like the 4 Pokécom. 4 Pokécom is really important. Especially when you're trying to big brain the Mimikyu. As well as it is part of the consistency of hitting the stage 1s of the deck consistently. Which can be very difficult, especially if you're up against the Eternatus. If you whiff on a turn 2 VMAX and they gust up your Urshifu and knock it out, it can feel so bad. So the 4 comms feels really necessary. The Pokemon lineup feels necessary as well. I wouldn't cut anything Pokemon related here. I wouldn't go down to 2 Jirachis. The 2 Dedenne, I did cut a bat earlier just so I could fit in another boss, which that has screwed me over with Power Plant. But if we've got Swell, Balloon's good, Marnie's good, Bosses are good, Scrapper's great, Switch, can't really cut in the net anymore. This is where things get really difficult. Where if you're going to add Swell, you're cutting consistency pretty badly. Five outs. It's enough. Look, we can try this. We can try this for a few games, see how this feels, and then go from there. I don't like cutting an energy for it. It feels really bad. But how greedy can we push this list? I think that's going to be a thing. So let's see how badly we get punished. Sleepy Dreepy 885, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well, mate. Sweet. Alright. So we're on a 4-game win streak at least. The games have been hilarious, to say it the least. Very hilarious. Alright, so they're letting us go first with fire. Could be a Victini list. Could be a Victini list. We will open... If we're going Victini... I might just open here. And then I can Pokecom away. Oh, alright. Minccino. Fire. Unless if... Okay, so they could very well be playing that energy denial control... No. This is just a Score Bunny list. Okay. This is a lot to go. Alright, so they're just going the Score Bunny. So we definitely want to start going towards... We'll grab ourselves a Dedenne, fresh in the hand. I was thinking about Horror House. I don't think it's necessary at the moment. So we can go like that. Do I want to go that way? So what I can do, it actually does feel actually pretty good, is attach. We're going to put back you. We're going to grab ourselves... What's useless in this matchup? Probably the Mimikyu. Mimikyu feels kind of useless. We'll put the Mimikyu down. We'll Marnie them. Ideally, we get... Okay, that actually works. So we want to go Quick Ball. We'll grab ourselves Zigzagoon. Oh. Grab a Jirachi. Swirl goes now. We then Mewtwo to put Marnie on top of the deck. Put Jirachi down. Strafe. And I'll actually Strafe into the Mimikyu. Just because I want to protect the Jirachi. Because this Score Bunny could actually attack this turn. And I would rather it not. Or if it does, I want it to attack a Mimikyu. Alright, Snorlax is coming out. So putting the Marnie onto the top deck is actually really good here. So we should be able to actually take a knockout, a double knockout ideally. We go knockout and knockout, leaving them with just the Minccino. Level Ball, boo. There's the Cinccino. That's a little bit of a shame. Rose is going back. And they've got the Mew. They've got the Mew. So we'll attach to the Dragonpult. And then we just look to take a knockout here. So you got Scoop Up Net. You're going to retreat into Jirachi. Look for Com. Then Scoop Up Net. Com. Evolve. Knockout. Nope. None of the above. I've got money in hand. So I might just... Can I just hold this? I've already used one Scoop on that. Yeah, I just hold this. So I could still get Calm next turn. And if that case, I might just start attacking with Dragonbolt now. Look to take a knockout on their Mew with Dragonbolt. So they got a money for us. It makes me sad that I didn't actually pick up the Mewtwo and get a money into the top of their deck. But I don't mind it so much. Hey, we got a money anyway. And an energy. Actually, if anything, this hand's really good. This hand is actually really good. So that's another Cincino coming out. And all that is going onto the bottom of the deck. So thank you for finding that Cino and putting it onto the bottom of your deck. It is greatly appreciated. Because I've got the Switch in hand, I think it's worth looking for Calm now. Nope. Pokeball. I'm happy to actually Quick Ball away Urshifu. We'll get Gengar Mimikyu, put onto the top of the deck because we don't exactly need that anymore. Switch. And then Marnie. See if we can't find ourselves. No, we whiff again. Finding those bloody stage 2s is an impossible task these days. So we just Jet Assault. Take the knockout. There's the Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon, scoop up Nat. Because that can help us get rid of the Mew very quickly, very efficiently. I might actually just Gust up the Mew and just knock it out. It's becoming very tempting. So just attaching the Rapid Strike energy here and researching is probably for the best. Does he have... And there's the Marnie on their side. They are struggling to find their stage 2. Can they find it? Ugh. Alright, so we've got the double scoop up net. That's actually pretty bad. Do they have their evolution though? They're down another boss. There's a boot. It's not looking like it's got the stage 2. U-turn board. Fair. No, they whiffed. Alright, so we're just all whiffing here. Which is sad and... That's just dirty. That is just dirty. Okay, so they're just going to scoop there. Oh, that is bad luck. Bad luck indeed. 4-2-4. And they could not find it. They're playing... Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. So they're playing 2 Incense, 1 Com. I don't like that. I think that's a bit much. I think that's a bit much. Never whiff 1 stage 2? Yeah. Yeah, I think that was a bit much. Going on to a 5-game win streak. And hey, we've played a nice variety of decks. When you think about it. We have played up against... like what have we played up against today? Whimsicott. We played up against Whimsicott. Centiskorch. What else? Now that I think about it. Whimsicott. Cinderace. Alright, so this seems like Tempozard, honestly. They're playing a Pokecom, so this is Centiskorch. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. When you play in a deck like this, always go first. Because you can't guarantee that you don't prize something important. Right. I'm going to put Mimikyu back. Grab Dragon Ball. Because you can't guarantee it. The Gengar Mimikyu. And you want stage 1s out first. Stellar Wish. I'm happy to quick ball away a quick ball to get myself an Urshifu, honestly. Oh, with open deck list, yeah. Like, if you're up against Pika, you'll probably want to go second. We'll grab an Urshifu. And I'm happy just to attach this here now and just pass. Then we can go evolve, research. And then depending on what we're up against, we can still trap them. We can still trap them. We can go turn 2 Horror House GX, turn 3 boss, attach knockout on whatever they play. Like if it's like a center scotch. No, okay, so this is probably tempo then. Dedenne coming out. Okay. Mew's coming out. Early Mew is always really good to see. Because you can blow up the Mew before you actually attack with Urshifu. Cramorant coming out, so they got a big catch. Which is a little annoying. It makes Marnie look really good now. With that hand size. Like, I don't want them to have that hand size, honestly. Stellar Wish. So... it's a risk, though. Playing Dedenne is a risk. I think it's worth it, though. I'm going to grab Mimikyu now. So if they do play down an Oricorio at some point. So we'll take the risk. And we do hit the money and the energy. So our risks have paid off. Luckily. I think it's still worth the attack, though. You can put that back down. Slap him with money. That's all looking good. Not a fan of just the Pokecom here, but we do have boss for next turn. So what we'll do is we go Max Phantom, attack. We put 1 on Mew, which sets that up for a knockout. 2 on Jirachi, which sets it up for a knockout. And then we put 2 onto the Dedenne. So now that just needs 1 more, then we can Gust knock it out. So now, if they scoop up net the Jirachi, we can go the Mew. If they scoop up net the Mew, we go up for the Jirachi. If they spend both their scoop up nets going knockout, knockout, then, so to avoid these 2 knockouts, then hey, they just spent 2 scoop up nets for no reason. Alright, so they do that. So we go for the Mew. We'll get rid of the Scrapper. I don't think we're going to have a use for that. Going to slap them with a Marnie again anyway. This can go back. This can be you now. It is, however, very tempting to take the knockout on the Jirachi instead. So it's hard for them to Gust. I'm going to go the risk. So I'm going to go take out their Jirachi, which means that they're going to have a hard time drawing out of this turn. And if they don't draw out of this turn, then all we need is Zigzagoon Ping. Alright, so this is going to get him... Oh, not the... Okay, that's fine. Zard coming out. Can they find the other 2 pieces? So they still need a welder here. Scoop up net. That's fine. Switch. So they are using a lot of their switch options. They've got 2 switch, 3 nets left. So this Mew might actually... Okay, and they're just going to scoop. So losing the Mew was going to lose them the game. We'll take that W. Hitting at the 6 win streak. We can play this list until it loses. Missing the energy was a little bit rough. So... But I mean, that still didn't feel too bad. Having 1 less Aurora didn't feel too bad. It was still a little sketch, but it hasn't been feeling too bad. Right, next game. We are up against Marcasi Tan. Or Maku Sistan. One of the two. Alright, we go first. Thank you very much. Okay, yep. Fine. Mulligan. No tech was really revealed. That's a pretty nice looking starting hand. What are we up against? We're up against Luca Metal. Can I just end the stream now, guys? Can I just end the stream now? I want to just end the stream. Yeah, this is a very frustrating matchup. It's going to test my patience. It's going to test your patience. Still a wish. Alright, I've got a... Okay. I have an idea. I have an idea. This is risky. This is very risky. Alright? Guys, I want you to think about what you would do from this point. How you would go about playing this hand. Was it that? Was that what you were thinking I was going to do? Ben killed 20. It was easy peasy because I wasn't there. How are you doing, by the way? Long time no see. So very weird. Can you hear me now? I think you can hear me now. Alright, it should work now. Yeah, good. Alright, sweet. This is really annoying now. Because he then GXs. So I think our big brain play failed miserably. We still can. We still can. Because we're not knocking this out. Quick ball sounds good, actually. Don't need that. I'm going to want... I want the blow... 100 Furious Blows. We want this one, I think. And I'm going to look for a Mewtwo. There's no Mewtwo there. That's frustrating. Alright, so we're going to retreat because I really need the Mewtwo. I need to get the Gus for next turn. Pokecom works perfectly. Still don't have the right energy, which is frustrating. Oh, this is just such a shit matchup. Mewtwo. Get the boss. And then we'll deliberate on what we do. So Horror House. They will Intrepid Sword. I might just go for research and go 150 here. Get rid of that. Got the VMAX. Retreat. And we'll save this for later. So what we're going to be looking to do... So our Gengar Mimikyu is how we deal with Zamazenta. If he GXs the Urshifu, then we Poltergeist. Marlon Lana is a little bit annoying. It puts it in a very awkward range for damage. So this got an energy. How much? This is Zamazenta. So we've got 5 cards in hand. 4 cards. So it will be hitting 70. It does make it awkward. So we will still Poltergeist from here. Then we can attach an Aurora Energy and look for the next turn. We can Aurora Energy, attach, retreat, hopefully knocking out whatever's in the active. Ooh, okay. So we'll be doing 170 at least. And it's going to be very awkward for them to attack after this. So they top deck an energy, so then they... No, there's the Steel Fist. So we're going to be hitting 150, 120, 120, 290. So I'm happy with that. Take this, get rid of that. Do I need anything here? Grabbing a Jirachi sounds safe. So we're going to want to protect our Gengar Mimikyu for the Zamazenta. So when they take a knockout on, say, like Urshifu or something, we then return KO with that. Gale Thrust, knockout. Taking 3 prizes. So that's the easy part. This is when it gets hard. So we have to protect Gengar Mimikyu at all cost. If he attached Gus knockout, we're in just so much trouble. Then I have to bench a Dragonbolt and never evolve it. Alright, Cynthia and Caitlyn coming out. That's going to get a Mullow and Lana. Draw a bunch of cards. There's the attached. Are they just going to hard retreat? They hard retreat. They attack. So they're going to play the switch. Yeah, this is awkward. So I want to go Horror Energy onto Darkphoenix. I think that is. So we're probably going to be doing 200 damage to them. Because we might need a shred through Zamazenta. So if that's the case, we're going to attach... This goes here. Going to retreat. They take the knockout with Zacian V. And then we start using... then we go Horror Energy attach 130. Yeah, I think this is going to hit for like 170. 170, and then we do another 50 to it. So 130, 230. So we do go 1 Zigzagoon here. 4. So 180. They probably top deck energy from here. As long as they don't attach to the Zacian on the bench, I'm fucking top deck. And then they're going to Mallow and Lana. I knew it. I just knew it. So they take the knockout, the Brave Blade knockout. It was pretty much exactly what I was afraid of. As long as they didn't have energy, it was going to be okay. So I'm going to have to bench the Darkphoenix. So I go normal attack once, and shred once. I will Marnie though. Because I've got another Mallow and Lana in hand. I'd rather them not have it. I'd rather be down the bottom. The rest here. Please, Pokédoll. Do they have switch into Pokédoll? Or they're just going to hard retreat? So they're going to hard retreat into the Zamazenta. If we had a boss, we'd be happy. So they get rid of the special energy. We'll just shred. And we'll attach onto... So we still get a knockout. It's just the follow-up knockout is scary. So we shred. So we take the knockout next turn. So I just don't want Urshifu attacking again. So Marnie coming out. Don't hate that. I like that actually. It means that this Zamazenta is not surviving. If I top deck energy, it'll be great. Actually, no, it wouldn't be enough. I'll be 1 damage short on knockout. So they're going to hard retreat into a doll. I'm going to boss. Not having energy here sucks. I will attach here. I think that should just be enough. Because unless they play Mew, we can go 120 snipe knockout. Unless if it gets affected by the -30. So then it'll be doing 100. So it'll be 250 and a little bit short. So I might need 2 scoop up nets. Which I have none left. I think it's still my best option. such a tough matchup. Well, I've got outs. So they take the knockout here. Oh, wait, that was enough, wasn't it? That was enough, I forgot. That was actually enough for them to win. Because they only needed, yeah. It's such a frustrating matchup, though. It is a very frustrating matchup to deal with. I still don't know a good way of dealing with it. If I could protect the Gengar Mimikyu, it's not so bad. But as you can see, once they get Zacians out, it's just... Ugh. It's just a disgusting matchup to deal with. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it.